Over the years of my life, I won't share exactly how many that is, I've been fortunate enough to be able to travel the world and experience some pretty spectacular moments. They range from meeting the Pope at the Vatican in Rome, ziplining across deep canyons in Mexico, hiking the lava fields in Iceland, snorkeling in the coral reefs in Florida, meeting Martin Luther King Jr.'s barber in Montgomery, Alabama, hugging a mighty sequoia tree in California, experiencing the wildlife in Glacier National Park, and cross-country skiing in the Norwegian ski mecca of the world, which is where I am right here in this picture. My name is Deanna Law, and I've been fortunate to have been an educator for the last 20 years and still counting. If someone were to ask what motivates me, I would say travel would be right up there on my list. Why, you ask? Because with each experience, I've not only seen incredible sights, met inspiring people, tried unique foods, listened to sounds of a culture, but most importantly, I've grown as an individual. It's really hard to put into words how travel changes a person. As DeWitt Jones said, change your lens, change your life. We all get caught up in our own little bubbles, and we think our way is the best way or our way is the only way. When you step out of your comfort zone, you begin to realize there is a much bigger world out there. You shift your thinking to, it's not wrong, it's just different. And different is good. It's what propels us forward and challenges us to push beyond what we already know and do. It is with this passion and mission in mind that I would like to share how I began a journey with my fourth grade students in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, to help them see the world through a different lens. If you look in the dictionary, travel means a going of one place to another, usually of some distance. People might also call it a journey, an adventure, a voyage. But to my students and I, it means so much more.
T is for taking risks and stepping out of your comfort zone.
R is for respecting cultures and the way we live.
A is for asking and answering questions through adventure.
V is for valuing people, place, and culture.
E is for exploring the world to make connections through similarities and differences.
L stands for looking around and loving the world you see.
In an effort to help my students see that travel stands for growth, for learning, for exploring, for nurturing, for progress, a quest full of culture, food, people, music, places, experiences, developing empathy, kindness, and new perspectives. I used a different approach to learning map skills and teaching about the regions of the United States. The ultimate goal was to have my students have an explorer mindset and start to make connections with places so they aren't just random locations on a globe. Using the National Geographic Interactive Map Maker and the National Geo for Kids US States website, I created a mystery excursion made of places that I've either been to or would like to visit. And my students had to piece the clues together to help them map out my journey. They had to follow both cardinal and intermediate directions, use their nonfiction reading skills to learn more about states, and work as a team to uncover the mystery locations. It has been a long time since I've seen my students so engaged in a project where they literally begged and pleaded with me to let them work on the challenge for days. I certainly had tapped into their curiosity by having them look at the world in a different way. They were able to interact with a map that took them on an adventure that was new and mysterious. My students shared how it really made them think. It wasn't easy, so it kept their attention, and they enjoyed trying to use the directions and symbols to make a map and understand more about where things are in their world. As one student said, and I quote, "I want to do this again because we get to work with people and learn different things about different places. And I got to learn about you, Miss Law, and that was cool." When we give our students the opportunity to tap into their own curiosity about the world, the possibilities are truly endless. They not only learn about other people and cultures, they start to discover new things about themselves. They begin to really grasp the human journey and how places and regions are defined by the landscape, the culture, and its people. By encouraging them to pick up that lens and really look and observe, they start to ask deeper questions that help them make sense of the world on local, regional, national, and even global levels. I'm proud to say that each group achieved their goal and were able to accurately map out my mystery excursion. I knew I had them when my students were going home and telling their parents about their learning in social studies this week. I had parents emailing me, thanking me for sparking that interest in them, and what important work it is to teach our children the value of venturing out and respecting others. What I hope to do is inspire my students to travel, because travel gives you the space to formulate your own opinions and ideas about life, whether it is understanding how nature has changed and evolved, how languages are formed, or about maybe how history has shaped a culture. When you live in a moment and listen and observe, you begin to make sense of our complex world. At the very beginning of this course, I talked about how I wanted to make learning meaningful and relevant for myself and my students, and to push the boundaries to find what connects us. This experience with my students has created new norms for how we do business in my classroom. We have made a commitment to empower ourselves to take on the responsibility to learn more about places and its people and culture, so we can be engaged in our communities and foster what truly matters in this world. This activity was a simple one, yes, that has now set the stage for a much deeper purpose of our study in our U.S. Regions Tour. My students are charged up and ready to use the maps to help them find their way so they can see the world through a lens that focuses on the exploration and appreciation of the human and natural world connections. As I said to my students, pack your bags. Let's go and explore the unexplored. It will change your life, and it could change your course forever and become your on top of the world moment. Thanks for listening.
Get in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world. Hey.